The second step that you need to do is to build a timeline based on facts and not fear. Again, it's time for you to build a timeline based on facts and not fear. And so when we talk about reaching our point B, when we talk about going after what we want, a lot of the times we overestimate what we can do in a week or a month, and we really underestimate like what happens if I show up consistently, little by little, in a year. Okay? And I promise you, I'm the queen of sustainable growth. I'm the queen of reaching your goals but not burning out while doing so. And being able to build a timeline based on facts and not fear of not what you think is possible, but actually doing the research and knowing how to figure it out is key to everything. Okay? So I'm going to share with you 3 types of women who plan to move abroad. And then Mara's going to drop a poll just so that we can kind of see where you are right now. But really quickly, just give me a quick yes or loving it if you're still here, if you're still with me. Give me a quick yes, and then we'll keep going. Awesome. Sarah saying yes, Kirsten saying loving it, Sasha, yes, please continue. I'm loving this, taking tons of notes. Oh my goodness, the comments are pouring in. Yes, yes, indeed. Alexis, me encanta. Elaine, loving this. Awesome. Let's keep going. Okay, so building a timeline based on facts and not fear. There are 3 different types of women, and I'm going to walk you through all 3 right now. Again, be honest with where you're at, see what resonates with you most, and it's okay because, again, we're here to work through this, all right? The fearful Fran. This type of woman has been dreaming about moving abroad for years, but doesn't know how to actually make it happen. Her comfort zone feels a lot nicer, although she knows that one day this will happen, but she still gets stuck and caught up on all the other women out there that she sees on the gram, in Facebook groups, wherever, but she doesn't know how to make it happen for her. Down the line, Fran still finds herself in the same job and making baby steps, but still doesn't have clarity on how it's going to happen. If you're in your fearful Fran right now, just give me a quick fearful Fran, and that's okay. We're going to keep going. But I just want to hear, again, excuse me, and honest, like, where are you at right now? Okay? The next one, know-it-all Nancy. Know-it-all Nancy, this type of woman thinks that Google is her best friend and spends hours of researching to find convoluted information. Know-it-all Nancy is determined to make it happen, but doesn't want to ask for help because she can figure it out on her own. And down the line, Nancy moves abroad and finds herself feeling unmotivated and not sure how to build the life she's envisioned for herself at the beginning. Right? So know-it-all Nancy thinks she has it together. She's doing it. She's got it down. But what happens, and I've seen this again and again, is that women move abroad being know-it-all Nancy's, and then they get here and they feel stuck because they don't know how to evolve because they didn't do the pre-work beforehand, and it makes it a little bit more difficult. So if you're a know-it-all Nancy, again, that's okay, but drop it in the comments. I want to see where you are, and then we're going to do a poll to just see where everyone is at. I love it. Alicia saying Fran is me and I am Fran right now. Candace is saying feel for Fran. Chloe is saying I'm a Nancy. Renaluca saying I'm a bit of both. Okay, and the last one. The last one is motivated Marcy, right? So motivated Marcy is this type of woman knows that technically she can do it on her own, but she'd rather learn directly from those who have done it before her. She doesn't want to waste her time, energy, and money stumbling through different processes for nothing. And motivated Marcy is conscious and intentional about what she wants for her life and is willing to make it happen on her own term. So down the line, Marcy is the one who's able to use her success story to empower and inspire others to do the same. And Marcy is here to leave her legacy. So Mara is going to drop a poll, and we're just going to see really quickly where y'all are. JME says, no, we love help. Aja says, fancy Nancy is me. I'm going to go to the next slide so that we have them all up as Mara does the poll. And I want you all to click on which one you are. Fearful Fran, Know-It-All Nancy, or Motivated Marcy. Let's see. And again, it's okay where you're at right now, but this is just for us to be able to say, okay, How do we take it to the next level? All right. I'm going to, I love it. Trina, I've been Fran for a while. Jerlinda saying motivated Marcy. Nicole, Miss Marcy. Love it. Definitely Marcy. Jenny goes, I was waiting. And yes, I am Marcy. Exactly. And so for me, if no matter where you are, the odds are, we're going to end the poll, that we all want to get to be a motivated Marcy, right? So we might have times or moments where we're saying, okay, I can figure this out, or I have the drive and initiative to do the work. So we're going to take that from Know-It-All Nancy. From Fearful Fran, we're going to say, hey girl, I love you, but you don't have time or space to be in my life right now, right? But we all really kind of want to aspire to be motivated Marcy, right? And there is about a half and half between motivated Marcy and Fearful Fran. So we're going to work through that. Don't worry. Tracy's saying, I'm a Fearful Fran, but desiring to be motivated Marcy. Perfect. No worries, y'all. We got this, okay? So we're going to move forward. And for those of you who, oh, I love it. Bernadette says motivated Marcy who left Fearful Fran behind. You better. I love that. And again, so here, like, for me, the goal is to be able to say, how do we create as many motivated Marcys as possible? And this is what happens when we work together. We're able to say, okay, you know that you can do it on your own. I'm here not to do the work for you, because again, in Master Your Move Abroad, the course isn't about me doing the work for you, but it's about me saying, here's exactly what you need, step by step, concept by concept, to be able to take it, learn it, again, apply it to your own life, and then see change, okay? So I'm going to share really quickly the 4 key factors to building your timeline, okay? So the 4 key factors to move abroad, eh? So the first one is clarity on where you want to be living. So I'm going to ask you a question right now. Oh no. Can you all see and hear me? Let's see. Let's see. A quick yes, a quick hands up, or say I can see you and I can hear you, or I'm still frozen. I'm getting some yeses, some nos. We're back. Okay, cool, we're back. And if I am frozen on your screen, definitely just reconnect and let me know. Back online? Okay, perfect. I'm just gonna wait for a second. Some people are saying it's spotty. Some are saying you can see and hear me. Okay, really quickly, for me, tech is good, but everyone's saying it's back online. Is it spotty or are we good? You can hear me okay? Cool. Awesome. Let's get to it. So the first key factor that you need to consider is clarity on where you want to be living. So do you have crystal clear clarity on which country and ideally city you want to be living in based on the lifestyle, culture, and language fit? Okay. And you need to have clarity on that, because a lot of the times people say, I want to move to Spain, but don't know, like, you don't know what you don't know, right? So saying I want to move to Spain isn't specific enough, because you can be you could be moving to Spain or Portugal or wherever that is, but you could go and you could be in a city where it doesn't fit the lifestyle you want. And that's what happened, excuse me, to me, where I had to say, when I moved here, I didn't have clarity on where I wanted to be living specifically, but I had complete clarity on what was the type of lifestyle and culture that I wanted there, right? So the next one, facts on how to figure out your finances. And this is something that I'm going to be really honest, that a lot of people have misinformation, or at least a different idea around when it comes to moving to a different country. So I want to ask you all, do you know the cost of living, like the actual cost of living of where you're moving to, and what financial prep will you have to do to live comfortably, right? And this is one of the most important things that I work on with the students in Master Your Move Abroad, because it's saying, how do you figure out your finances and how do you know what you're going to need for the next 6 to 12 months? So I want to give you all a quick game or a quick quiz to see what our perception is like versus what the reality is. So I live in a town in Spain And in my apartment, this is part of my apartment. In my apartment, I have a duplex. So a 2-floor, 2-bedroom with 2 terraces, and I'm literally 2 to 3 minutes walking from the Mediterranean Sea. How much money do I pay a month for my apartment? Just start throwing out numbers with what you think. So how much money more or less do you think that I pay for my apartment? Again, 2 floors, 2 bedrooms, I'm 2 minutes from the sea, and I have terraces that are quite spacious as well. So don't think about it too much, but how much money do you think that I pay each month for rent? People are saying 6, whoop, 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 whoop. Okay, we have 800, 650, 1500, 1500. A lot of people are saying 1500, 1000, 2500, 900, 2000, a gazillion, 900 a month. Okay. Ooh, yeah. So Jerry's saying 1,500 in Andalusia. I would also ask yourself, where in Andalusia? In a small town and a big town would be really different. So let me break it down for y'all real quick. I pay 480 euro, which comes out to about 500 a month for an apartment where I live by myself. And again, it's big, it's spacious, it's next to a grocery store, we can walk everywhere, etc. And so what I pay for an apartment here in New York City or in any other big city in the States, it would be $2,000 to $2,500 a month, easy. And so for me, it's crazy because again, when we're coming with the mindset of what we think life is going to cost versus knowing what it actually costs, it's a game changer. Everyone is saying, what the heck? What? No way, that's crazy, lies, moving tomorrow. Exactly, but this is why, again, for me, one of the most important things is that like I work with you to figure out what the actual cost of living is, and we have this dope resource that actually helps you figure it out based off of like surveys of thousands of people, and it helps you figure out just like what the cost of living actually is. So granted, I'm not going to drop where I live right now to y'all, but the most important thing about this is not necessarily what town is it in, because again, there are different places in the town that I live in that have higher cost of living, etc. But the important thing is being able to say that, again, Spain isn't as expensive as we all think it is. Granted, if I was in a big city like Madrid or Barcelona or Granada is so-so, but like Madrid or Barcelona, yes, I might be paying a lot more. But for me, something that's always been important is how do I live in smaller towns or smaller cities that, number one, have less tourism? Because again, I'm trying to be like integrated with the local community. All of my friends here are Spanish. Like I walk down the street and people know who I am. For me, that's a quality of life. Granted, for another person, they might want to be living in a big city where there's tons of diversity, etc. So this is mixing the two together, because when you think about your timeline, you want to have clarity on where you want to be living, but you also need to be able to say, okay, what does my budget want as well, right? So the next thing to consider is securing the job. So how do we secure the job, sis? Like, do you actually know what you're going to be doing professionally? And how will that impact the possibilities for you abroad, right? So do you know what you're doing professionally, and how will that impact your possibilities abroad? Also, a lot of y'all are asking what town I live in. I'm not gonna drop that information right now, but I live in a town that's about an hour south of Valencia. But again, it's a small town, there's not a big population. A lot of people view it like, this is gonna sound really bougie, but it's not. But it's considered like the Hamptons of Spain because everyone comes here, everyone has second houses here during the summer, but then during the winter, it's really chill. Again, I'm not gonna drop the town name right now because that's not the important part, but the important part is that when you do start researching smaller towns in Spain or smaller cities, you're going to find that the cost of living is a lot cheaper, okay? So, securing the job. I feel like finances resonated with a lot of you, so this is great. Securing the job. So, do you know what you're going to be doing professionally, and how will that impact your possibilities abroad? So, I'm dying. Chloe Googles the Hamptons on Spain. So I think this is really important. So asking yourself, what type of job do you want to have, and what type of job is going to be possible for you, right? And so normally in some of my classes, I walk through what the different options are. And so a lot of the times it's either saying, okay, I'm going to be teaching English while building and or scaling my side hustle. Or I want to be working remotely for a company and being able to live and have residency abroad. Or maybe that looks like I want to get hired by a company in Spain, Portugal, whatever that is, and work directly for where you're going to be living, right? But if you don't know what you're going to be doing professionally, it's going to be really hard to get together your paperwork. So when you're thinking about your timeline, and like we have a whole module in Master Your Move Abroad that talks about your takeoff timeline, and we build and we create it for you, where you have to ask yourself, do I have all of these things figured out, or am I not sure? Because if you're not sure, you're not going to know how long it takes. And then again, you could say, I want to move abroad in the next 6 months, but the money that you're going to need to save might take you 12 or 18, right? Nicole says, will you touch on work visas? Will you touch on work visas as FAQs? Absolutely. So Nicole, in this class, no, but when you join Master Your Move Abroad, we definitely talk about work visas, and we also have live Q&As where I'm able to like riff back and forth with you, as well as other people in the community who have also moved abroad, so that you're able to like ask the questions that you need, okay? Kristen is saying, do you need a work visa to live in Spain? Again, that's going to depend on what type of job you have or what type of job you're going to be giving, right? So when I first moved over, I was on a student visa, although I was teaching English. So I was working for the Spanish government, and I was on a student visa for my first 3 years. 3 years. And then when I got hired by a Spanish company, that's what allowed for me to have Spanish residency. So now I have work and residency, which means any Spanish company can hire me. I have Social Security. I have pensiones, like retirement in Spain. I pay taxes in Spain, all of it, okay? So it really depends on your professional situation. But in order to figure that out, you need to secure the job first, right? So you need to figure out what you're going to be doing, okay? And the last one is to look at legal logistics, which is exactly what Kristen brought up. So do you actually know what the best visa situation is going to be for your specific case once you have the other 3 steps figured out? And so again, if you're trying to move abroad by the end of 2020 and you don't know these 4 key factors, I'm sorry, sis, but you're going to have to wait a little bit, right? And again, it's like, it's a sustainable thing, what we want to be doing. We want to be able to do this and on our own terms. Tanika's asking, what if you'd like to have your own business? Again, that's amazing, but is you having your own business a point C goal, or is it a point B goal, right? And so again, something that like when we do the live Q&As, it's really dope because I get to know all of you better. And what it is like, Tanika, it'll be me asking you in one of our live Q&As, like, are you trying to have your own business now or in the future? And then you can plan from there. And Joanne is asking, as we move forward, we're getting ready to move forward, but Joanne asked that I have to give up your US citizenship, and no, because I'm not a Spanish citizen yet. So I'm only a resident. So again, this can be kind of confusing, but that's why I'm here. I'm here to walk all of you through this. And so inside of Master Your Move Abroad, after we talk about your takeoff timeline, there's a section where we talk about work and visas. So we'll talk about all of this and go through it, okay? So I want us to keep going because we're at an hour already, but as we move forward, I'm super excited because I want to drop something special for y'all. So our team came up with the 10 steps to prepare for your Move Abroad workbook. And so I'm going to share the workbook with all of you right now, and you can all download it for free. And essentially, in this workbook, what we do is we walk you through the 10 steps to prepare for your move abroad. And we also have like a checklist. So you're going to be able to say, okay, do I have, like, where am I on the scale for 1, 2, 3, and 4? And you're going to be able to see and have a real like visual of how ready are you to actually move abroad. Shamika says, I can't believe it's been an hour already. I know, time flies when we're having fun and learning new things. Sarah saying thank you. Amanda saying thank you. Oh, and some of you are asking for the legal logistics. Okay, so if you're taking notes, I'm going to say it through again. Legal logistics. Do you actually know what the best visa situation will be for your specific case once you've figured out the other 3 steps? Okay, so also, y'all, we're not done. We're not over yet. We're going to go through and we still have more steps, okay? So I'm going to move forward. And I want to share another impact moment on what happens when you actually build a timeline based on what you need to know. So this is someone who went from a know-it-all Nancy to a motivated Marcy, and I love her. This is Yeri, and she's worked with me before. And it was amazing because she went from a know-it-all Nancy of quitting her job, starting to travel, and wanting to start her own business all at the same damn time. And again, what can happen is I'm big on sustainable growth because I also know what it's like to burn out. And we're not here to try to burn out, right? So after working together, then this is her testimony that I'm going to read. I had just quit my job a few months ago and started my own blog and business. I'd set a goal for my business, but I was having trouble figuring out how to get there. I met with Sienna and she helped me gain clarity and direction about what I was trying to achieve. Within 1 month of working together and implementing those changes, I shifted focus and landed my first job. For me, this impact moment is one of the most important things because during our time working together, she was able to see again, like sometimes we can try and do it on our own, but what we learn from people who have done it before, they know how to ask the right questions, they're able to go through. She was able to shift strategies and land her first job. All right.